Welcome to our RFP Money Story podcast, a space for sharing real money stories and where we dive into real conversations about finance, success, and the lessons learned along the way. What we have here is a financial advisor, Mr. Nathan Joy Poblete. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Gab. Nice meeting you, and
Nice meeting you.
thank you for RIP for arranging this. And yeah, maybe I can share some insight and my experiences about my finance journey. So
Yeah, you surely do. But before we proceed, sir, let's dive more into your personal money journey. So, what's your first memory of money and how did it shape your financial mindset?
well, we're poor, basically. That's the mindset na iniwan sa akin ng mga parents ko. So bata pa lang kami, yun na yung mindset na meron kami. No? Tatlo kami magkakapatid. So, story ko lang is came from a humble family. My father is a government employee and my mother is taking care of us three. And yun nga, palagi mo naririnig, we don't have enough, money is the root of all evil, God's love the poor, and manghihingi ka lang ng piso, mabubulyawan ka pa and sasabihin ng nanay mo na, tingin mo sa akin, namumulot or, sorry for the word, nagtatay ng pera. So, yun, masamang maging mayaman technically. Kasi kapag nag-iipon ako, my mother always telling me na, you're preparing for something na masama na mangyayari. So, hanggang sa mag-work ako, dala-dala ko yung mga negative or yung limiting beliefs na yon. And for some reason, life should be a struggle. Something like that. And kapag nagtatry ako mag-ipon, I don't know, yung pera parang may pakpak, umaalis sa kamay ko nang wala man lang abiso or parang di man lang nagsasabi. And of course, I can't blame them kasi that's their programming eh. Yun din yung tinuro ng mga magulang nila and at the same time, yun din yung ituturo sa atin. I love them, God bless them, but sadly, malaking impact yun sa buhay ko kasi from the start, ang tingin ko is life happens to me and I can't do nothing about it. Yun yung sobrang laki ng impact na nabigay sa akin. So, yung mga bagay na yun, na deeply imbibe sa akin. And nadala ko siya all throughout. Until, nag-ask ako ng question na, ano ba talaga, ganito na lang ba ako? Or something na ganyan. And malaking bagay yung environment and yung programming, yung mga naririnig mo. Kasi it will totally shape you habang lumalaki ka. Kasi pag bata ka, absorb ka lang ng absorb ng mga tinuturo sa'yo and you don't have a choice but to, parang sundin lang kung ano yung mga sinasabi nila. So, yun. Life should be a struggle. Dapat sapat lang yung sinasahod mo and kapag meron kang extra, dapat i-dispose mo yan. And that's the reason why most of us, hindi lang ako siguro, marami, most of us is ganun din yung kinalakihan. So, mahirap siya, pero once na na-experience mo yung mga na-experience ko, I think magbabago yung perspective mo pagdating sa pera. Because it's something na you need to discover Hindi mo siya malalaman kung kanino. You need to discover it yourself. So, yun. Yung mga memory ko about pera is life should be a struggle and we're poor and you can't do nothing about it.
Okay, so growing up, yan na yung naging mindset mo. What's one thing na financial lesson na inisip mo na dapat ginawa mo na to ever since bata ka pa? Or before ka pumasok sa corporate field?
Siguro, okay, two things. Yung money management, cash flow management. Dapat sa school natuturo na to Kasi if nagawa ko siya ng maaga, mas madali ko mahahandle yung finances ko. Kasi ang focus ko before, ganito sahod. Kapag sumahod ka, pag lumalaki yung sahod mo, mas magiging comfortable yung buhay mo. But it's not the case So, 2010, I was started working as a BPO associate, and I'm earning, imagine, 12,500. So roughly, if inflation will follow, parang mga nasa 8,000 something na lang siya, no? And sabi ko, siguro pag naging 25,000 yung sahod ko, magiging better na yung lifestyle ko, and yung the way I spend money. Pero hindi eh, kasi yung lifestyle inflation siguro, na kapag tumataas yung sahod mo, same thing,
Ganun din sa presyo.
expenses, yes. Tumataas din yung expenses mo. So, siguro kung natutunan ko siya before na mas maaga, hindi ako mag-struggle like the way my parents do. Because doon pa lang sa money management, magagawa mo na lahat eh. You know how to budget first. You know why you decide that way in terms of money, yung mga decision makings mo. Then yung investing, of course, that's secondly. Because if I started earlier, siguro yung first million ko is madali kong marireach. Kasi what you don't lose, you lose. What you don't use, you lose, or something na ganun. That's why we always hearing itong phrase na to, na the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer, because the rich know how to make their money work for them, which is in contrast to the thinking of average person or average people. Doon nga sa book ni T. Harv Eker, di ba, na The Secret of Millionaire Mind, sabi niya, yung mga mayayaman daw, they play money game to win. On the other hand, yung mga poor people is playing money game to not lose, which is totally opposite. So, nanineglect kasi ng tao yung compounding na tinatawag. As you know, yung compounding, yung if you invest your money and continue building that along the way, you'll have an investment that you can use for the future. So yun, it's siguro if I learned this earlier, siguro kahit high school or college ako, hindi ganito yung maging experiences ko. But life happens eh. You need to learn it the hard way, kasi hindi naman tayo talaga pinanganak na mayaman. So we need to learn things na, of course, magmo-mold sa atin.
Okay, but right now, you were able to handle or budget all of your expenses na.
Absolutely, 100%.
Great. All right. So ever since you started working, is there a turning point or a downfall in some other terms financially, and how did you recover from it?
Not just financially, but my life. So, this is my story. This is the first time that I will tell this to someone outside my family. So, I'm not a theologian or a minister in terms of a Bible. Amateur. Naman yan, even. Pero si Lord kasi sometimes papaluin ka niyan. He'll direct you to someone, somewhere, some circumstances para matuto ka eh. So, let's dive in siguro para ma-explain ko. So, I'm trading way back 2019. Kala ko alam ko na lahat. Ang galing ko. 6 digits income. So, sabi ko, ang galing ko na. Parang alam ko na lahat. Until, market humbled me. And I realized na the market is always right. Hindi mo siya pwedeng matalo. You can just predict it. But market is always right. So, I thought na alam ko na lahat. So, 6 digits income along the way from 2019 until the pandemic came in. So, I'm trading 2 non-blue chips company. January yan. And the biggest mistake ko siguro dito is hindi ako nakapag-set ng stop loss. Hindi ko na set ng tama yung kung ano yung kaya kong matalo. So, in short, yung trading account ko is negative 35% to be exact. So I don't know how to explain it to my wife, no? Kasi parang all throughout alam niya talagang we're building wealth by trading. So, ang ginawa ko, hindi pa natuto, nag-revenge trade ako. Revenge trade. Alam naman natin yan, mortal sin sa trading. So, ayun, another losses. And in March, around March second week, yung third telco naman ng tinrade ko. And same thing happens. Nag-incur siya ng losses. And resulting to multiple losses. So, in short, mga nasa couple of hundred of thousands yung napalugi ko. And then, hindi ako makatulog 3 araw. And sabi ng wife ko, how's your trading? Kasi alam ko parang pangit. Sabi ko, okay lang. Okay lang siya. And then, nag-try kami mag-baby around April. But unfortunately, hindi na po. So, umiiyak yung asawa ko. Kasi magastos, of course. Hindi lang sa gastos, but emotionally. Yung nasunog ka na sa trading, may bagong challenges na naman. Pero hindi pa pala doon natapos. Then, yung mother ko naman na nagkasakit during the pandemic and she passed away around June 21, 2020, 2021. So, akala ko tapos na. Kasi, isipin mo, you lose sa trading, yung baby na in-expect nyo. Tapos, yung mother mo naman na nag-passed away because of the pandemic, then may bills pa kaming inaasikaso niyan. So, can you imagine yung financial stress? Then, after nun, sabi ko sa kapatid ko, pwede kaya tayo mag-start ng business. So, we started the business. So, after a few months na mawala yung nanay ko, we need to prove something to surprise our father. Parang, kaya namin nang wala si mother. No? Then, without right planning, without calculated risk, nag-start kami December and nakuha namin yung, it's by the way, it's a tracking business. So, it's a tracking business and start namin siya ng December and na-commission siya first week ng March. Not knowing yung father-in-law ko pala is of course, may sakit na. So, March 17 naman, siya naman yung sumunod. So, another challenge. Akala ko 6 feet below the ground na kami ng wife ko. Tapos, mayroon pa palang kasunod. So, we are still trying to revive our business. Parang nag-inject pa rin kami ng pera namin ng magkapatid. Just trying to, kumbaga parang naka-CPR na yung, CPR na yung business. Then, losing talaga eh. Hindi namin alam kung bakit. Siguro the way we manage it. Then, September 2022, yung grandfather ko naman yung sumunod. So, sabi ko, Lord, ano ba to, tama na? Baka naman, parang, if you are in the circumstances na parang walang-wala na, that's the only time that you'll ask help sa taas eh. So, sabi ko, baka naman mayroong way para ma-stop na to. And then, yung wife ko sabi niya, tama na, pagod ka na. Ito ba talaga yung gustong buhay mo na? Nalulugi na nga yung business, puro challenges pa. And, para akong nabaril, na parang, oo nga, no, we didn't sign up for this. Bakit puro struggle yung nararamdaman namin? Until, ayun nga, nag-ask ako ng help sa friend ko and makabalik sa corporate, which is I'm currently in. I'm a payments and collection analyst now. So, but, ayun nga, multiple struggle. Then, sabi ko, may mali. I need to do something. And, for some reason, nag-browse ako sa Facebook. Nakita ko yung reels ni Jim Rohn. Na sabi niya, don't wish it was easier, wish you were better. Sabi ko, right. Sabi ko, parang, oo nga, no? And then, pag scroll up ko, nakita ko si RFP. Sabi ko, what's RFP? Sabi ko, tapos binasa ko. Sabi ko, parang makakatulong to sa akin. So, in just a matter of seconds, siguro nag-decide ako to join RFP kasi sabi ko, I'm loose na eh. Parang wala nang direksyon. So I need something to start, something new, something fresh. So yun, that's my story from basically doing good and then ang lalim ng binagsakan. But one thing I learned siguro is hindi mo kailangan mag-bounce back. You need to bounce forward. Kasi if you bounce back, you'll bounce the same scenario. But if you bounce forward, you'll go somewhere else. You go further.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about later being an RFP member, but I'm a bit curious about right now. Are you still running a business?
No, we closed it. And
Okay.
my brother and I lost at least 1 million. Yes, it's 1 million.
Oh.
So
So,
we sold the unit and we start we start disposing everything. So yeah, it's
so right now, tinatry nyo pa rin mabalik yung perang nawala sa inyo?
hindi na eh. It's a tuition fee.
Ah, okay.
It's now a tuition fee and we're looking na lang kami doon sa experiences and yung mga lessons na nakuha namin.
So talagang bounce forward talaga.
Bounce forward.
Nileft behind yun na lang yung
Yes.
memory na yun.
That's why nag-stick sa akin yung thinking na yun na we need to bounce forward. Kasi kung mananatili tayo dito sa thinking na to, we'll always bring our past going to future. So let's take it as a lesson, but we need to bounce forward and able to at least para maka-recover tayo and we go somewhere else, not
Yeah.
the same place.
Yeah, that's actually a great mindset na bounce forward. Ngayon ko na siya narinig, actually. That's great. But ngayon, you're working as a financial advisor. Yun lang yung pinagkakaabalahan mo ngayon.
So right now, I'm still employed in a BPO company. I'm a collection and payment analyst. And I'm hustling as a financial advisor with ProLife UK. So, yun, yung mga income ko ngayon. And somehow, CRFP, malaking bagay siya kasi yung knowledge na nakuha ko is nagagamit ko to help clients and not only my personal money mindset and finances, but for the people I serve as well. So, yun.
Okay, do you have any investments that you're currently working on?
Yes, I do have an investment. And if you're gonna ask me what my investments are for, it's for a retirement. Kasi, makwento ko lang, no? Galing kami kahapon sa Pampanga. And galing kami sa isang shelter na nagkikater ng mga matatanda na talagang inabandon na. And nakakalangkot yung mga stories nila. Yung iba, iniwan nilang basta-basta. Yung iba, may waiver na lang na pinirmahan kasi may attitude daw yung nanay or something na gano'n. That's why they don't want to take care of her. And ang dami nila, around 49 elder people yung nandun. So, natanong ko yung sarili ko, paano kung dito pala ako mapunta? Which is, I know to myself na hindi naman siya mangyayari. Kasi I'm working hard, I'm working with my investment smart. So, para ma-maximize yung return. Pero how about the others? So, since wala pa kaming baby, and good thing siguro, kaming mag-asawa, hindi naman kami mahilig mag-travel. Travel na namin is drive lang outside Manila, but going outside the Philippines, we're not actually wanted for some reason. Pero yun, we're preparing for our retirement because mahirap tumanda nang wala kang pera. It's either, it will make or break you. Kasi, if you have investment na ready, for sure, yung mga mag-aalaga sa'yo, pag-aagawan ka.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if wala talaga. Sad reality, but yeah, baka mapunta ka talaga sa isang nursing home na hindi mo talaga gustong puntahan.
Okay, so knowing your own personality, do you consider yourself as a spender, saver, or investor?
Well, balance eh. I would say balance. Kasi yung insurance, savings, investment for other expenses such charity o yung mga biglaang gastos, automated na yan. Naka-auto transfers na yung mga yan. And of course, nag-enjoy pa rin kami. Kumakain kami sa labas, nagde-drive kami somewhere else, and nagagawa pa rin namin yung mga gusto namin. Siguro, ang kailangan ko na lang ma-improve ngayon is the way I spend yung remaining, yung mga natitira pa. Kasi most likely, napupunta yan sa mga pag may humingi ng tulong.
Yeah.
Yeah, binibigay namin ng, ito, tulong ko na to, hindi to utang. So, something like that. Kasi, automated na eh. So, basically, yung mga priorities mo na nalagyan mo na ng funds, and then yung groceries, food, and everything, calculated na din yan, estimated na. Yung mga natitira, yun yung kailangan naming improve na ilagay pa rin siya sa isang maybe savings account na doon kukunin lang talaga siya in case of yun nga, may maghihingi in a certain amount. Hindi yung kami kasing mag-asawa, medyo huwag nating i-sugarcoat, mabait pagdating sa pagbibigay ng tulong. So, sometimes, bigay lang kami ng bigay. So, hindi namin na nakikita na ganun na pala yung nabibigay namin. So, that's the other thing that we need to work on. Kasi, para hindi lang focus sa ilang tao yung mabigyan na to scatter pa.
That actually answers my next question, no? Na how do you budget your finances and how do you manage your decision making financially? Kasi you mentioned na you're giving money to other people, to your relative, unintentionally,
Unintentionally, yes.
and then at the same time nag-i-invest ka for retirement, and then you have currently 2 jobs.
Yes.
So, may mga expenses ka din na automatic nang naka-organize na napupunta na sa savings.
Yes.
How do you budget your money, your expenses? Kung nasabi mo, may natitira pa naman. So, right now, you're financially free. Do you consider yourself as financially free?
Yes, of course. Siguro, hindi meticulous eh. Kumbaga parang, I'm working with the Excel sheet. Parang, hindi naman siya yung parang ultimo piso hahanapin mo pa. Pag nagpa-budget kami, fully automated, lahat dapat nabayaran na bago mo gastusin yung natira. Ang formula namin kasi dyan, personally ako, is save, invest before spending.
Yeah.
Most of the people have the mindset the other way around. Parang spend muna and save what's left. And alam naman natin yan, na-spend na lahat, wala nang natira.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yun yung siguro biggest win na meron ako ngayon. Kasi dati, when I was working mga 5 or let's say 7 years ago, same thinking. Walang masyadong savings. Though nagte-trade tayo, pero yun nga, parang yung gains mo nawawala kasi napupunta din sa expenses. So, ganun siya.
Okay. So, you have a tracking device. Excel sheet siya.
Yes.
Alright. So, na-mention mo ba a while ago na you have business na wina-work on about tracking?
Tracking is a delivering goods from
okay.
our
Akala ko
province.
yung tracker talaga.
No. It's a tracking business. Like yung, di ba sa province namin sa Aurora, maraming coconuts and banana, mga yan. So, yun yung ni-start namin na business na nag-fail.
Okay. So, you mentioned a while ago na nag-trade ka, so you lost tons of money. So,
Sadly, yes.
sorry, pinaalala ko. Pero, baka maging inspirational to para sa mga viewers and listeners natin. Kasi, I was about to ask about the investment that it didn't turn right, na hindi mo in-expect na ganito pala yung mangyayari. Is there any other investment na same situation, same scenario, and same emotions that you felt during that time? Or yun lang talaga yung worst investment na nagawa niya entire life?
Entire life, yun na talaga eh.
Yun lang.
Baga parang, during that time, it's a hit or miss. So, talagang burn, as in burn. Six figures, imagine if you're working in a corporate world. 6 digits is hard to earn, no? So, kaya ako natawag na tuition fee kasi hindi mo na mababawi yun.
Oo.
It's the lesson learned Pero na-learn mo siya the hard way. So, it's our, yun nga, tracking business na nag-fail, na talagang di namin alam kung paano babawiin in any ways. So, that's why we let it go. And two things sigurong natutunan ko sa mga yan is, yun nga, don't start anything, mapa trading man yan or business, don't start anything nang walang planning, walang calculated risk. At least gumawa ka man lang ng feasibility study para malaman mo kung mag-work ba talaga. Second is, huwag kang magde-decide if you are not in the right state. Like malungkot ka, galit ka, kasi it won't work. Maybe for some people, baka nag-work sa kanila yon, pero gusto ko siyang makilala kung meron man. But in our case, no. If you're not in the right state, right mindset, don't start anything kasi it will ruin everything.
Okay, since you mentioned then a while ago na you're financially free, do you have plans to make a business ulit? Pero in different, angle.
Yeah, sure, of course. Nagpaplano na rin kami ulit na magkapatid. It's
Okay.
something na, of course, di pa pwedeng i-announce na ngayon. But yeah, we are looking forward to start another one. But smarter and better. Kasi meron ng planning, meron ng mga
Mas organized.
mas organized, yes. Nagka-canvas na kami ng mga items and whatnot. And then yung mindset, kailangan talaga before you start, meron ka niyan eh. So yun, yung may win-workout kami ngayon and hopefully na ma-execute namin as soon as possible.
How about at home? Ikaw ba yung nagmamanage ng expenses niyo mag-asawa? Or si wife?
Ano eh, it's hati eh. Hard to say na ako kasi ang ginawa ko lang naman is to automate them. Tapos yun, pangbili ng grocery, naka-allocate na din ng tama. So, we don't have much na parang problem pagdating sa budgeting.
Do you have joint account ba? Or eto, toka ako sa grocery, toka ako sa rents, ganon, sa bills?
Hindi eh, we're joint.
Okay.
Pero, once na nag-join yung sahod namin, we have 4 bank accounts na may pinaglalagyan. So, yung una is for insurance, investment, and then leisure and yung mga expenses na parang sudden lang, biglaan lang. And then yung para sa emergency funds. So, emergency funds namin is fair enough to survive in case na hopefully wala namang mangyari. But yeah, we're ready.
So right now, what's your money goal that you're currently working on?
Yung nasabi ko kanina about retirement talaga. Kasi
Yun
yun
na.
talaga yung, since wala pa kaming baby, no? Yun talaga yung parang kailangan mong i-workout kasi ang dami kong nakikita talaga, even my closest relatives, their situation, parang wala eh. Ultimo gamot, kailangan hingin, mga ganyan. And alam mo naman, pag tumatanda ka, expenses ng medicine mo, maintenance. So, yun yung talagang win-workout namin. Kasi, based on the computation na ginamit ko, we need at least 55 million, I think, by the time we are 65 to fully enjoy our remaining days on Earth. So imagine, if you don't invest, saan mo hahanapin yung 55 million if you don't use your money wisely? Pwede kang makapag-save or makapag-invest. However, kung short naman, ganun din. Hindi mo may enjoy.
Ano bang ideal age mo for retirement?
Ako for now, siguro mga 60, pero if there's a chance in God's will,
Earlier than that.
50, 45 to 50. So I'm 36 now, so I still have a couple of years. And let's see if may execute ng tama. So, yun. Around 45 to 50 siguro sweet spots. Tapos, magagawa ko na yung mga gusto ko, like yung teaching financial literacy, mga speaking engagements, mga ganyan. So, yun.
So, yung work mo is BPO associate and then financial advisor.
Yes.
What makes you decide or motivate na mag-financial advisor? Na parang to get into finance field.
That's after joining RFP.
Really?
Kasi, di ba may case study tayong ginagawa?
Yes.
So, sabi ko, kailangan ko ng insurance planning. Though nakagawa na ako ng planning and then kinontak ko yung previous na kawork ko, which is now, he is in other company as insurance. Sabi niya, bakit hindi ka na lang mag-join? Kasi ganun din naman, may mga clients kang kakausapin dyan, might as well, yung kikitain mo, yung kikitain ko sa'yo na lang. Na-recruit ako, basically. So, ayun, nag-start ako mag-join ulit sa Pro. Then, the rest is history. So, I became an awardee last week, March 13, as National Achiever. So, ayun. In finance, marami pa akong dapat matutunan, marami pa akong dapat na gawin. Kasi hindi lang naman about insurance, hindi lang naman about investment, hindi lang naman about budgeting yung kailangan matutunan, marami pang aspect. So, yun, that's what decided me to join Pro is parang ano na siya parang one-stop shop na if you're going to help someone about investment, might as well, tulungan mo na rin sila sa insurance and other field. Parang ikaw na yung magiging nila, forever advisor.
Okay, so ever since you joined RFP, how did you influence your approach, or how did you use your platform to share your knowledge about I assume na you already joined a lot of webinars, talks, you've met a lot of people here in RFP. How did you use your platform to share your knowledge about financial planning?
I'm creating content. So, may FB
okay.
account ako ginagamit, and though hindi pa naman siya ganun ka-viral, no? Pero at least I'm sharing insights and yung mga knowledge na natutunan ko sa RFP. And hindi lang sa akin pati sa mga clients na natutulungan ko. May story ako about a client na as in totally, when we compute her finances, negative. So totally walang nasa-save, puro utang. Winorkout namin yun. And sabi ko, maging religious ka lang sa gagawin natin. Trust me, magbabago buhay mo. So, with the knowledge I gained from RFP, yung, ayun nga, cash flow management, yung behavioral finance, ang laking bagay niyan. Kasi hindi lahat ng tao alam yan Parang they are lost. Hindi nila alam kung bakit ganun sila gumastos ng pera, hindi nila alam kung bakit ganun yung behavior nila pagdating sa pag-manage. So, winorkout namin. And right now, she is my client, meron na silang policy, and they paid all of their debts, and nakapag-save na din sila. So without RFP knowledge, I think kahit financial advisor ako, I can't do that.
Okay. Ever since you joined RFP, what is the best finance advice you received? And kanino siya galing?
Well, hindi siya galing sa mga facilitator natin sa RFP. It comes from Sir Chinky Tan na
Chinky.
yes, kay Sir Chinky. Kasi Sir Chinky, alam mo naman ng mga advices napaka-practical. Yung sinabi niya na it's not about how much you earn, but how much money you keep. Which is totoo ang dami kong nakikita na kumikita ng 6 figures, but yet their finances is, kung ma-check natin, talagang ina-spend nila lahat. Cars and travel abroad. Marami yan Kahit sa mga kakilala ko, marami yan. They're spending more than they're earning. So, akala nila na kumikita sila ng ganito, marami na silang pera, pero hindi pala. Kasi they're spending it. Usually, ginagagamit yan sa mga show-off. Like, I'm 100,000 person, dapat may sasakyan ako, dapat nakapag-travel ako outside Philippines, dapat magandang mga shoes ko and mga, mga bagay-bagay. So, yun. That's nag-stick sa ulo ko na kahit gaano kalaki ang income mo, hindi siya mag-work kung wala kang right money mindset. Kasi if you cannot manage 20,000 a month, don't expect na mamamanage mo yung 100,000. Without the right mindset, without the right knowledge, it will it will always go back to the default.
Okay, if you're just talking to an average person, how will you explain an average mindset of finance? Like, how are they going to manage their finances?
For average people kasi, yes, it's very hard. Mahirap talaga siyang i-explain kasi sa dami na lang nakausap ko, kahit insurance lang to they're not open eh. They don't want to admit that they have a money problem. The way na tatanungin mo sila, or, oy, baka interested ka dito, ganyan, about insurance, meron kaming ganyan. The way they react, tsaka na lang marami pa akong gastusin. So, gusto mo, sinasabi ko sa kanila, gusto mo, let's check your cash flow para ma-check natin, para matulungan kita kahit libre na, sabi ko. And magre-revert sila na parang, tsaka na lang. Kasi they don't want to admit na may problema sila eh. That's challenging. That's why marami pa tayong kailangang work as RFP to explain. Kaya napaka-critical ng role natin sa community. Not just for my clients but to other people. That's why I'm creating content. Hindi ako sanay gumawa ng content, hindi ako sanay gumawa ng videos, pero I'm doing it for the sake na tulong ako sa tao. So, mahirap siyang gawin in a sense na they are not open. But if I'm going to explain this to average people siguro, ang masasabi ko is kapag nag-save ka, you will thank your future self in a way na parang wala kang sisisihin kundi ang sarili mo. Something na ganun. Hindi ko pa siya nagagawa kasi talagang ang tao ayaw nilang pag-usapan ang finances, to be honest. Even simple budgeting, simple debt management, they don't want it. They don't want to admit. So, explaining it through videos para at least kung may manood man, makuha nila yung gusto kong sabihin. Not directly kasi ayaw talagang umamin ng tao pagdating dyan. So, yun.
Okay. So, for the sake of our viewers and listeners, do you want to share something about financial planning, of how it will help them to manage their finances then?
Yeah, sure. So this knowledge came from RFP, no? Napakalaki ng impact nito sa akin. So firstly is yung behavioral finance. Kasi yung behavioral finance, yan eh, parang siya yung root ng lahat. Kasi diyan mo malalaman kung bakit ganito yung behavior mo, bakit ganito yung bias mo pagdating sa mga bagay-bagay pagdating sa pera. So malalaman mo, ma-explain mo ng maayos kung bakit they're spending more than what they earn. And second is yung cash flow management. Cash flow kasi doon mo malalaman kung yung kinikita ba nitong taong to is enough to cater yung mga expenses niya. Like yung rent, yung mga basic necessities. And doon mo din makikita sa cash flow kung meron bang room para makapag-invest yung isang tao. Kasi without cash flow management, without knowledge about cash flow, kung doon pa lang sa expenses ubos na, would you expect na meron pang matitira about investing? Palagay ko wala. And then yung insurance, of course. Kasi insurance policy holder ako for a very long time, not knowing na insurance coverage ko pala is not enough. Especially yung na-sign ko way back 2013, it's only around 500,000, which in fact, millions pala yung kailangan kong sum assured. So, kapag nagpa-financial planning ako, I'm making sure na balance kung ano yung nasa budget and kung ano ba dapat talaga or at least malapit dun sa insurance coverage na kailangan ng client. So, next is yung estate and tax. Kasi may mga hindi naman katandaan, may mga matatanda na din ako nakakausap na gusto nila mag-iwan ng legacy. However, ayaw naman nilang ibenta yung mga properties nila.
Yeah.
So sabi ko, why not gumawa na lang tayo ng parang insurance coverage to cover this up. Sabi ko, para at least hindi magagalaw to and madidistribute mo ng maayos yung ano mo, ipapamana mo, which is may mga nag-agree pero most of na nakausap ko is talagang ano pa rin sila. They are leaning towards the traditional way na gagawa ng parang sa lupa basically. Paghatian nyo na yan, so something na ganun. In terms of insurance, medyo laid back pa rin yung mga nakakausap ko. So, ayun, behavioral finance, it will help you, it will guide you para malaman mo kung bakit ganun yung behavior mo sa pera. Cash flow, para malaman mo kung tama ba yung paggastos mo ng finances mo. There is yung insurance, para malaman mo talaga kung right ba talaga yung coverage mo. And yung estate and tax, para at least mawala ka man, ready na yung mga bagay-bagay at hindi mo na mag-aaway-away yung mga king mo pagdating sa mga properties and investments mo.
Okay. Singit ko lang pala kasi we already discussed about you using RFP to other people. How about your own financial journey? Or together with your wife?
Yes, same approach na ginawa ko sa mga client ko. The way I'm handling mine, ganun din yung ginagawa ko sa amin. So, nung nalaman ko to sa RFP, una kong dinisect yung behavior. Sabi ko, may mali talaga eh. So, nung nakita ko yung mali, doon pala nanggaling yun sa nakwento ko sa iyo kanina na we're poor, dapat yung kinikita natin, nadidispose agad.
Yung mindset niya.
Mindset. Kasi kahit anong galing ko sa trading before, kahit kumikita ako, for some reason, talagang kailangan may paggastusan tayo. So, may mga bigla mangyayari. So, yun. Second is, nung nawala na yung negative mindset na ganun, nag-transition na to saving and invest. Ang ununa ko talaga is to check our insurance coverage na kasi ang hirap magkasakit ngayon sa totoo lang. Lalo na kaming dalawa lang mag-asawa, so who will take care of each other? Siyempre kami lang dalawa. So, yung 500,000 na insurance coverage ko ngayon, kailangan ko pala is 5 times. Kasi wala pa naman kami baby, wala pa akong maiiwan, wife ko lang. Pero yung expenses namin, kasi mostly ako yung tumatangke. Ako yung nagbabayad karamihan. Though joint account siya. I'm not thinking it that way eh. Kahit malaki yung sinasahod ko, ito lang yung sa kanya. It's a combine. It's 50-50 para sa akin. So, insurance coverage, talagang kumuha ko ng term aside from VUL. Kasi kulang na kulang talaga. And then yung investment, ang kagandahan kasi sa RFP, hindi ka lang basta nag-i-invest eh. Kasi by figures, alam mo yung goal. So for example, sa retirement, yung nabanggit ko kanina, 55 million yung kailangan mong retirement. So, na-compute ko na how much yung kailangan namin na i-save monthly, saan namin siya ilalagay, kung sa aggressive ba, sa moderate ba, or sa conservative. So, since we still have time, yung goal namin is for retirement, mahaba-haba pa, nilagay namin siya sa medyo risky na investment vehicle, mga nasa... By the way, I'm not trading now ha, hindi na ako nagtitrade. I just have multiple mutual funds na nasa global market. Well, down ang global market, unfortunately. But yes, yun. May figure siya. And alam namin kung gaano katagal, magkano, and saan ilalagay. Second, last is yung, talaga eh, yung cash flow, malaking factor yun eh. Kasi, kahit nga gaano kalaki yung kinikita mo, if you don't know how to handle it, wala ring mangyayari. So, the way we see money now is compared to what we seeing it before is money is now a friend, hindi na siya kalaban. Kasi dati parang ang tingin ko kailangan ng pera always in disposal eh. Parang kapag meron akong pera, kapag meron akong extra, kailangan gastusin yan. Wala dapat maiiwan. So kahit papaano, nakakapag-trade ako before, pero malaking bagay pa rin yung mindset and cash flow. Now, sa cash flow management is napaka-critical kasi doon mo makikita yung ano yung balance ng lahat. Kung may natitira ka pa ba for investing, for other use. Ang hindi ko lang pala nakwento about this, no, is yung debts na na-incur namin nung nalugi namin sa business. So, sa cash flow ko din siya nakita na we are spending so much in debt na sabi ko, wala talagang matitira sa atin kapag magbabayad lang tayo ng magbabayad ng utang. So, ang ginawa namin, kinonsolidate namin lahat ng utang. And then, yung may pinaka-lowest interest, yun yung inuna namin. Parang nag-fuel yun para, uy, tapos na tong isa, ito namang isa. So, yun. Sa cash flow mo makikita kung gaano karami yung utang mo, kung how much yung matitira, and how much yung mga magagamit mo in future use like investment and other expenses.
Okay, dun sa pag-i-invest mo, not only sa mutual funds, of course, meron dyang risk and reward, right? So, how do you balance that naman?
Medyo aggressive ako eh. Aggressive ako in terms of gusto ko high return. Pero alam ko siyang high risk. When I was trading, yun yung biggest mistake ko. Hindi ko inalam yung system na kaya kong sikmurain. Kasi way back, when I was trading, gusto ko day trading. Alam mo naman sa day trading, parang siga ka, uy, everyday kumikita ako sa stocks. Everyday may kita ako. Something na ganyan. So, ngayon, ang ginagawa ko, everyday, ina-assess ko yung risk appetite. Sometimes, lalo na sa trading, merong 1:1 ratio. Favorite ko yan dati. And talagang maglulos ka. Pero pag nakabawi naman, talagang maganda rin. Now, I'll regularly check eh. So, for example, ngayon, nasa mutual funds ako. Which is perfect for me kasi marami akong ginagawa. Hindi ko na kailangang magtingin sa market. Ang ginagawa ko lang is just put it there and let it grow. So, naka-peso cost averaging ako. Siguro kung nalaman ko to na yung long-term investing pala yung para sa akin, hindi siguro ako magkakaroon ng mga multiple losses sa trading before. So, yun nga, nasabi ko kanina, don't start anything unless you plan for it and you have a solid foundation para at least ma-mitigate mo yung or ma-lessen mo yung risk. Kasi investing is not for everyone, to be honest. Kung kaya mong sikmuraan yung losses, go ahead. Pero kung hindi, might as well go with other conservative type of investment like bonds and other mutual funds na merong fixed income pero hindi siya kagaya ng ginagawa ko na masyadong aggressive. Pero so far, nag-work naman sa akin, aggressive type ako pero long term. That's why I don't care if I lose now but will gain in the future.
All right. Before we end or before we wrap things up, do you want to promote something else? Like you mentioned a while ago na you're a content creator. So do you want to promote that page, social media accounts?
Yeah, sure. Just follow me at Nathan Joy Poblete. It's naka-public naman yun sa Facebook. And soon to rise my own website para at least mas madali ako makita ng tao. And of course, if you know more about financial planning, yun nga, message me sa Facebook or Instagram para at least magkaroon tayo ng connection. And yes, you can also watch my videos para at least maka-add naman ako ng value sa mga tao. So yun lang naman, I only have Facebook account. TikTok, by the way, I'm sharing videos on TikTok as well. But moving forward, we will see me on my own website para at least, yes. Para naman medyo magandang tingnan kasi we're going papunta na tayo sa pagiging tunay na
Two steps ahead na.
Two steps ahead,
Yeah.
yes. About financial planning. So, that's all for me.
All right. Do you want to add something else about financial planning, or do you want to leave a one-liner phrase to our listeners and viewers about finance?
Yes, sure. as I mentioned, no, I'm an amateur pagdating sa Bible. But I want to leave this, no, kasi napakaganda nito. Ito yung bumuhay talaga sa akin nung nag-ask ako kung bakit. Ito yung phrase from the Bible na ask. Mag-ask ka lang. Mag-ask ka and makaka-receive ka. And kapag naghanap ka, may makikita ka. And pag nag-knock ka ng door, it will open unto you. So, that's it. Kasi, ang problema sa tao, as I mentioned, hindi sila umaamin na meron silang problema. But once na you ask for help, guaranteed, someone will address your problem. Yung makakamit ka ng mga tao na makakatulong sa'yo. May mga circumstances na possible, may makikita kang video or mababasa na book na yun pala yung magbabago ng trajectory ng buhay mo. So mag-ask ka lang, mag-seek ka lang, and knock, and the opportunities will come to you.
Alright, and that's a wrap on today's episode. Thanks for tuning in. If you love diving into money stories as much as we do, make sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Spotify, or visit our official website at rfp.ph for more financial insights. Until next time, keep chasing those money moves.